Hello, everybody. This is Football Psych, and I'm Coach Mad Mike.
How you doing, Mad Mike? This is Lord Sarge. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Football Psych. So today, we've got a lot to go over because, the Washington Commanders never sleep. They always seem to have something going on, and we are starting to get to the point of OTAs, baby. OTAs!
Woohoo! Woo!
All right, let's get ready to go. So I want to start off by telling you guys the off-season schedule. Technically, the season's already underway. There's already been a rookie minicamp that's gone on. They've also had a series of phase 1 and phase 2 conditioning stuff goes on that's been going on. And the OTA schedule actually starts for some teams around the NFL. It started today. But we're not starting today. We're actually not starting until May 27th, which is next week. So we are about 9 days or so behind other teams in the NFL. The rationale and the reason behind that is we took a little bit more time to evaluate our rookies from our rookie minicamp, and our phase 1 conditioning things were stretched out instead of condensed.
So that's not bad, right? That's not a bad
giving
thing.
players less of a time gap in between of touch points and when they hit the organization, but it has a tendency to stretch the schedule out a little bit more. I don't know which one's good, which one's bad. I don't care one way or the other. I care more about quality rather than quantity.
Don't you think it's better to give the rookies more time under evaluation to see how they're doing?
It's not about them getting more evaluation time. It's about more time to allow your coaching staff to evaluate them. There's a difference. Like the amount of playing reps and time that they actually on the film is the same. But it's about going through everybody's individual files and going through their film work for the coaches to evaluate them a little bit more thoroughly.
That's what I mean. Don't you think that's valuable, especially since we have so many new coaches? They need that time to process, right?
Yeah, new coaches, and we are making a lot of changes to our roster to include 2 new schemes, both offensive and defensively. So maybe they just need the extra time just to kind of figure out and get a good idea of where people fit.
Right.
So phase 1 of those things consists of the first 2 weeks of the program activities that is limited to meetings, strength and conditioning, and physical rehabilitation only. Phase 1 has already occurred. I don't know when exactly it happened, but to the best of my knowledge, that's already occurred. Phase 2 consists of the next 3 weeks of the program, which is on-field workouts, which may include individual or group instruction and drills, perfect play drills and plays with offensive players lining up across from offensive players and defensive players lining across from defensive players to conduct walkthrough pace. No live contact or team versus team drills are permitted. That too is either already completed or still going on. I was not able to confirm. But phase 3 is when OTAs actually start. And for us, it's going to be, you see the OTA workout dates there, 3 different sets of dates, May 27th through 29, June 2nd through the 4th, and June 9th through the 11th, where they will conduct OTAs. There is still no live contact, but there's more like 7-on-7 drills, 11-on-11 drills, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And they're allowed a total of 10 organized team activity days of practice in accordance with the collective bargaining agreement. That's all they get before training camp starts. Now, there's a mandatory mini camp that will go on June 16th through the 18th. Then after that, training camp starts that takes you right up to preseason.
Hey, Coach, what's a perfect play drill? I have no idea what that is.
I think it's slang for something because I've never heard of that term before.
Yeah, that's a new one.
It's a new one. I don't know.
Does it mean where it's just a drill? Where I got to look that up. I got to Google that. What's a perfect play drill?
Yeah, I'm not sure what a perfect play drill is. I understand lining up drill plays, but they can't be offensive versus defense. They can't be like running routes against a defense, that kind of thing. I don't know why they have these kind of rules like they do, but they're just so restrictive. I don't know how you prepare a football team for the season until you get to mandatory training camp. It's like everything really to me starts June 16th.
Hmm.
Other than that, you're kind of like not really doing much. You're having meetings. Okay, people are getting to see the docs. People are doing strength and conditioning, which they should be doing year round anyway. And most of them, they'll tell you, I don't get anything out of strength and conditioning in the facility. They do their strength and conditioning on their own. Any veteran, even rookies coming in, will tell you like those aren't even real workouts to them. They work out harder than whatever little uh, you know, conditioning stuff that they put them through.
Now, Coach, it's it, I want to dissect that just for a second. I know it's probably not what you had planned for the show tonight, but
That's fine. Go for it.
it's been said of the Commanders organization that our strength and conditioning has been lacking. Why is it that strength there's not more focus on that? Why are we not dogging our team and putting more focus in that area during this time period to really like diet, conditioning, and really grilling our guys when there's no contact, right? I understand it when we start getting into June, right? But this
Yeah.
first month, why aren't they really, really hitting the weights and the conditioning inside the gym and diet and getting these guys' bodies built up for a month to get ready for mini camp?
Well, it's a very good question, and I think good teams do. Right. So we said already that phase one has already been conducted, which is the first 2 weeks of the program, which they started on April 20th. So on April 20th, when you bring him in, you have your team meeting. I think that's when you as a coach would tell your players, these are my expectations. I want you to come in stronger. I want you to come in more conditioned. I want you to come in, just ready to freaking go. And if you've got some kind of lingering element going on with you, like some kind of injury or something not working quite right, we could put you through physical rehabilitation now because we're allowed to do that. You can see our medical staff. You can come in for treatment every day. You can go see the masseuse. You can go and see your physical therapist. You can do all the things that you need to do to get right. Um, but you strength and conditioning, you can make them run wind sprints. You can focus on that kind of stuff. But to me as a coaching staff, I think when the old season's over, right? You tell your players, listen, if you're coming back to this team next year, I'm going to tell you we had a strength and conditioning issue. We're not going to have that next year. Part of your evaluation process is whether or not you come stronger and whether or not you come more conditioned than you were this year. That's going
Mhm.
to be part of your evaluation process. But it's the coaches that set that tone.
But coach, we're paying a crap ton of money. Every team does for that gym and for your coaches, for your dietitians. Why
Yeah.
isn't that stuff starting right at OTA season, right? Why
Well, it
is that
starts before OTAs. OTAs don't start until May 27th. I'm
right?
saying when you show up April 20th, which is a whole month prior,
It should be
like
2
5
months of
weeks
that, right?
prior, it should be doing that. But like again, it's part of the culture of your team. Um, Before I release people from last season and say, "Hey, see y'all next year," I'd be like, "Hey, before you show up next year, I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, your conditioning needs to be better.
Set the
We're a
mindset.
5-12 football team,
Mhm.
and our conditioning and our strength was not where it needed to be."
But shouldn't they snap them? I agree totally, right? Set the mindset. Tell them already put the mind sync in. You don't show up in condition, you might not make the team, right?
That's right.
That
You're
should
not
be
going.
there,
You're not
right?
going to stick around here very long.
Right. But when that hits in April, shouldn't it be all right? You're in the program and you want to make this team. Shouldn't be reiterated. We got a program. I'm paying people to get you guys in top physical condition before you start putting pads on. You're going to be in
Absolutely.
this program and you're going to see the dietitian and I'm going to improve your physical conditioning so you're ready to take the hits and you're going to be in the gym busting your butt every single day. You're going to be on the diet that they put you on. We're going to improve you to be ready. Shouldn't that be what's happening?
It should be, but here's the other issue that you have is that some of these events are mandatory in accordance with the collective bargaining agreement, and some of them are optional. They're
Oh,
volunteer. And
oh,
so some veterans will tell you, and some of them have an attitude about it, right? They'll be like, listen, I've been to your guys' team workouts before. They suck. I can work out better on my own, and I do work out better on my own. But that's where you got
Mm,
to say, okay, hot shot, if that's what you're saying, and you show up here and you're not conditioned, it's on you because I'm evaluating on you based off of how off your conditioning. So if you're not working out on your own and you show up here on in OTAs in May, it's not going to go well for you.
Jack says Tunzel. He's like Tunzel. Yeah.
I think Tunzel is okay.
But
Tunzel,
he's an example of that, right? I'll do everything on my own. I don't need you.
he's a good example of that, but he's the guy who also shows up and actually does it.
Mm,
Like there's never been an issue with Tunzel.
mm,
So and a lot of times there's other guys that like when Bobby Wagner was here, he had that approach too. Nobody ever had to worry about Bobby Wagner. He's just like, no, I work out on my own. I work out harder on my own. I will show up. I know what I need to do. My body's a little bit older now. I know how to train it. I know how to get myself proper rest,
mm,
and I will come prepared. And you know what? Bobby Wagner showed up prepared.
mm,
So it worked. And I think you got to look at that from a player on player's perspective. Like, okay, I know it's volunteer, but I also know you. So, like, you might need to be here.
yeah, yeah.
Right? There's some players that you know that they're slacking a little bit. You got other players that are like, no, no, that dude's a gym beast. He
Mm-hmm.
probably does work out harder
But
on his own.
especially your rookies too, right? Your rookies, your first year guys, your 1 year
Yeah, because
guys,
you don't know them yet.
right?
What is their work ethic? I mean, until you've been around them a little bit, you really don't know. And I would tell you, if you're a rookie, you should participate in everything anyway because
Just
you're
be a
trying to make an
sponge,
impression.
right? Be a sponge.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
you
know that
never
was a.
know when somebody drops a knowledge nugget on you that syncs with you that just makes the difference for your career.
I didn't know that was a collective bargaining thing either. That's pretty interesting.
All this is collective bargaining. How many
Wow,
days you can be in practice, what you're allowed to do in practice, who shows
man.
up, who doesn't have to show up. Like all those things, they're all negotiated out. And the issue that comes in is this stuff gets smaller and smaller, smaller every time that they add games. Because veterans is like, I have to allow my body to rest. You're breaking my body. And so you can't have me in you can't add games onto a season
Mm-hmm.
and throw me in a long training camp because my body will not hold up. So that's the reason why in college you'll see they'll have a lot larger, longer training camp things, but their season is only 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
Ours is a lot shorter. You're considered to be more professional now to be able to take care of things more on your own, but your season's 17 weeks,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
right? So that's kind of the thought process behind it. And but there's some coaches out there that are just hardcore and they want to beat the crap out of their players. And that's the reason why that's part of negotiated as part of the collective bargaining agreement.
Makes sense. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So preseason schedule is out as well as the regular schedule. So right now, this is the schedule. I do not expect it to change. It is a schedule. What I do expect to change is the time and date specifically for the Detroit Lions game. The date has been set, but the time has not. I believe it's I probably shouldn't say because I'm thinking it's the 21st, but I'm not looking at it right now. But that date has been set. So we're going to start off with the Miami Dolphins. I will tell you there is two joint practices scheduled for this game. A joint practice that we will have with the Miami Dolphins prior to the Miami Dolphins preseason game. So we will do some head-on-head practices to help just both teams. Coaches are just like, hey, it's preseason. I want more reps from my players. The Miami Dolphins have agreed to a joint practice prior to the preseason game. So we will actually know each other's teams a little bit better before we even play the preseason game. We also did the same thing with the Baltimore Ravens. We agreed to a joint practice with the Baltimore Ravens before the Baltimore Ravens game. The one that we have not agreed to a joint practice with is the Detroit Lions. So we are not having one like when we show up in Detroit, we're just coming in there to play them. Okay, there will be no joint practice for that one.
I'm going to predict win, lose, lose.
Win, lose, lose, huh? I don't think it matters.
I know it doesn't matter.
To me, I will tell you, I take a different philosophy than what
Yeah, I know.
coaches in the NFL do. I believe in winning everything, especially if you're a losing franchise, because I want to set a standard that
Yeah.
here in this program, we win.
Culture of winning, right? Psyche.
A culture, that's right. That's the psyche, right? I want to establish a culture that you will win. And just to me, all right, and I know people have different views on this. I want them going out there fighting to win. Because if they're fighting to win, I get to I get to evaluate their competitiveness, how they react when they're down, when all the stakes are on the line. I want to figure that out in preseason. I don't want them going into the game like this game doesn't matter for nothing. I'm just getting my few reps in, just make sure I'm conditioned, I'm ready to go for the regular season. No,
Yeah.
I want to see a team fight for 60 minutes. And I want, from a psyche standpoint, I want them to condition them that the expectation is to always win and to always fight. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'll manage reps. Okay. Hey, your series. Did you win the series? Okay. You won the series. Okay. I want those starters out of there. I want the next line guys up. I
Mm-hmm.
want to see you fighting. And I'll go all the way down my depth chart that way. But what I'm looking for is, are you a fighter? Are you going to fight? Even when you're down, I want to see you're still fighting.
Yep. And that's critical this year and these preseason games because our first 5 games this season are brutal.
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 Brutal. You're right. So anyway, here is that schedule. Oh my goodness, man, it is a doozy. So I will tell you, yeah, we open up first 2 games on the road against divisional opponents. Brutal. Then we have to go against the Super Bowl champs, Seattle Seahawks, week 3. Then we have to travel all the way to London to face the Colts at Tottenham. And then we come all the way back. We play the Giants, our next divisional game. And then we turn around. We got to go fly all the way to the West Coast to face the 49ers before we get to our bye week. I will tell you, with that brutal of a schedule, I'm kind of glad for a week 7 bye.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Right. To adjust, get a break. Yeah, for sure. We're going to need it.
Because you can be awful, beat the flip up after that first 6-game schedule.
You know what's cool
Normally,
about
I want my bye week to come later in the year where all the nicks and bumps are doing, and I want it like around week 12. But like with this brutal of a schedule up front, I think everybody's going to be happy with the bye week by week 7.
Yeah. You know what's funny about opening in Philly?
Was that
That's where Scary Terry caught his first touchdown pass.
70 yards or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, his first season. That's where it was a bomb by Keenum. Wait, Keenum was the quarterback. So maybe we'll have some maybe we'll have some opening luck against Philly.
Oh man, we need it, man. This is a brutal.
I actually think the game against Indy is winnable in London because it's London, it's different, and it's Indy. It's going to be a tough game, but I think that one's winnable. Even Philly might be winnable, just because I think because our defense is improved. Seattle. Oh man, Dallas. Oh, Harbaugh with the Giants is going to be scary.
Yeah,
but they're missing neighbors, so he had another knee surgery. So we'll see.
well,
But
it depends on how long he's out for.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, but because he might be back and completely healthy by then.
No, they're saying at least the first half of the season. He had another surgery on his knee.
Well, that helps. That might be a W. That means we
Yeah.
might lose to them later on in the season. Because when do we play him again? We play him
Later on.
again by week 10. He might be back by week 10, by November 12th.
But their defense is much improved. So I mean, it's still. This is still. I mean, our defense really needs to step up to keep us in these games, and we'll see what we have. Again, my biggest concern is, I mean, our wide receiver locker room. You know, this Williams slot controversy, you know, we got a slot guy for a Z position instead of us. We needed to sign your guy, Brazil. That's who we needed to sign.
Yeah, we didn't sign
and we
Brazil.
didn't sign him.
Um,
So
we didn't sign him.
the buzz is out there. We've got an overfull slot receiver room, and we don't have a true Z receiver, and we're not hearing any buzz out there on what's going on. We
But we'll
did,
get to a little bit that I mean we're still talking schedule right now, but we'll get into players. But like
but I mean, it makes a
um,
difference on these teams. You know what I mean?
it
Not having
does,
that Z in this first 5 games.
but the roster is not set yet.
Yeah,
Like um, could Traylon Burks play Z? Maybe, right?
yeah,
Can you put De'Ami Brown at Z? Maybe.
yeah.
It's not. It's less than ideal,
Right.
but I think you could. I think if I was only allowed to
We're gonna
start the
have to.
season with who I have, I would probably put De'Ami Brown at Z. I would so it'd be Terry McLaurin, be De'Ami Brown, and I'd probably try to put Williams in the slot if he's healthy.
Yeah.
Um,
Which he
and
appears
right,
to be. He appears to be right now.
yeah, okay. Well, we will see. He hasn't really stretched that hamstring out yet either.
Yeah.
So if the hamstring goes down, then I'm looking for Traylon Burks or I'm looking for Jalen Lane. Um, but like our wide receiver core is not very good. That's not going to get it done, in my opinion.
Hmm.
But going up against these football teams, my concern is separation. Why? Because these teams had a struggle with separation last year.
Right. Exactly.
And so, and,
That's going to hurt our offensive punch. Again,
nobody's,
our defense should be 50% better at least, right? At
it,
least.
it, to me, it depends. Like, I do believe our defense is going to be better, but to me, it depends on how quickly they gel under this new scheme, right?
Hmm.
Because you're going with the 3-4 hybrid. So you're, you're, you're completely changing your defense. And I will tell you, even a lot of the veterans on this team haven't they've never played in that type of defense
Yeah, they
before.
got to learn, right? They're gonna have to
So you
grow
got
into
you
it.
got seasoned veterans who've made millions of dollars playing a certain way of football. And you're going to tell them at this point in their career, we're going to teach you a whole different scheme and you're going to have to learn it. And they're going to be, and so some players are going to react well to that, other players might not.
Hmm.
So the concern there is how well does that work? How well are we able to gel? Because I will tell
Right.
you on paper, they're looking pretty good, but like it's
But
in
it's
the
got to.
execution. They got to come together and they
Yep.
have to be all bought into it. And they can't second guess when they make a play call and you're supposed to go to the outside and you're trying to read something else and not going to the outside.
Hmm.
Right? You got to trust what the coaches are telling you and execute it the way the play's called. And that's tough.
Yep.
Because
You-
players got instincts and it might not look right to them and all that kind of crap.
Yeah,
Right?
it's going to take a few games to get them dialed in, right? It's going to
Yeah,
take
when
them a
you get
few.
stressed, you usually fall back on what you know. But what you know is not this scheme.
You're right.
So it'll throw like, and if you have a couple communication errors, which this team had communication errors last year on
Hmm.
defense. And so unless you're able to have good communication in a system that's new to everybody, it's harder than you think. So anyway, we will see. We'll see how well they do. I will tell you, I'm looking at being in London for that particular game, and then we'll see what
Yeah.
other games I can make.
Yeah.
But
That's
I'm
awesome.
going to London, bro.
Yeah. You're going to do it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to London.
Oh, that's too cool.
So
Are you gonna do a live cast? Are we gonna do? We're gonna have a London cast. Wait a minute. When's the game? Is it on a Sunday? It's a Sunday game.
it is. Let's go back to that. Yeah, it is a Sunday, October 4th
Hmm.
at 9:30 a.m. this time. Of course, it's a normal time for them over there. It's more of they're 8 hours ahead, so it's going to be was it a 4:30 game there or a 5:30 game there in London? So, but anyway, I will tell you that um, yeah, I don't know if I'll live stream it or not because I don't know what the connection is going to be like. I'm not going to try to do all that. And when we've tried to live stream at games before, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, but I will provide pictures and I will provide different stuff
Oh, that's
like
cool.
that, and we'll get it out. And we'll have a follow up to our game in our when we
But you're
come back.
not flying back on Monday, are you? You're going to still stay in London, right?
I'll
Or are you
probably
flying?
still stay in London, and I will probably film from there, and I'll show
Cool.
you guys pictures and highlights and stuff that I had from there.
That'd be cool. Now, Jack,
Right?
Jack is stumping on something here. I need to bring up to you, Coach, to get your opinion. Okay. So
Yeah.
Jack has mentioned a couple times here, and he's got a more fleshed out comment. He's talking about rest time, and Washington's schedule this year. We're in the top 3 of the rest time between games of all the leagues, of
Mm.
all the teams in the league. We're in the top 3. And what he's saying is, let me get my pokers on here. Teams with more than 7+ rest days have a. I don't know where he's getting his facts, but he's a good fact guy. 7 teams with more than 7+ rest days have a minimum 7 to 9 wins, and a maximum of 14 teams with less than 7 days net rest days or under 6 games win. And we're in the top 3. So I guess what Jack is trying to say is he's expecting us to get 7 to 9 wins. And
See,
I would
that's
say I don't disagree, because if our defense does 50% better, if there's no improvement on the offense does exactly the same. That's where we should sit, somewhere between 7 and 9.
so. I see that between week 5 and week 6 because from that Sunday to that Monday is more than 7. I see that one there. I see the bye week after that. We come back. Things are a lot Sunday to Sunday, but we have a short week, week 10, which means week 11 is a long week. And then we're back on, and then we're a short week from Monday to Sunday before we play Arizona, and then we run Sundays, and we're not sure out of that. So I don't know where the analysis is to say that we're top 3 in the league because
This
I
is
only see a few games there where you're getting more than 7 games.
He's saying tough, but
So
Washington is tied for the 3rd most net rest days compared to everyone else.
that's weird to me because again, I only see it between week 5 and week 6. Obviously, the bye week, which everybody has a bye week. And then I see it week 10 to 11 because we played a Thursday night game, but we're coming off of a short week. Um, and then other than that, that's it. So
Mhm,
how are we ranked 3rd in the league when I only see those 2? Somebody's
mhm,
got to explain that to me. And
mhm.
oh, by the way, I'm not going to buy the rest thing when you're having an international game because players are having to deal with time zone changes.
Yeah.
And that messes up their sleep.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
you got to like try to train, and they're like all jacked up, and they're tired, and they're like
They're on the double-decker bus and eating fish and chips and signing autographs and
and
wanting to do all
passing
that
out
kind of
at weird hours of the day because they're just freaking dog tired,
stuff.
right? And if they go, oh, let's have a beer while we're here, and let's go look at some sites, they're all screwed up,
Yep.
right? So like,
I think it pulls away when you travel. But
it
then
does.
London's different, I think, because we've been there before and it's kind of cool versus something like where they go to Brazil where they lock them down. You can't go out at all. I don't think they're locked down in London, right?
They're really not locked down anywhere, but
They're
you,
locked in Mexico. When they go to Mexico, they're locked down. They're not allowed to go out at all because of the danger. They lock them down.
see, I didn't know that.
Yep.
London has its issues. I mean, anywhere you go has issues, right? And sometimes it's the coaching staff. Do you want to lock your team down and keep them out of trouble, or do you
Yep.
want them to enjoy the experience while they're there? And it's kind of like hit or miss because players would be like, "Well, let us go out like at least one night. Like,
Mhm.
can we travel there a day earlier and give us a night to like at least do some sightseeing? You take us all the way to London. We're really not going to see anything."
Yeah. It's kind of a bummer, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. It's not very motivating. Like you want your players to be motivated to go to London. I mean, it shouldn't all be about like, oh crap, I got to go to London and it's going to mess up my sleep
I
pattern. And
think
it's like,
Europe's free and clear. Brazil's locked down. Mexico's locked down. I think
uh,
Barcelona's open. I think Europe is open. We'll have to check. If any of you out there know that, what cities when the NFL goes are on lockdown? I think Brazil and Mexico are lockdown cities. I think anything in Europe is open.
all right, let's move on. So there is some buzz going on out there right now. I don't know what happened to my logo, but that other word is buzz. And on when I built a chart, that logo wasn't like over the buzz part. But anyway, there are some potential free agency buzz that's going on right now at the league. The big stories are the top 3 that you see there. Stephon Diggs is a potential coming in to be a Z guy. Of course, there's issues surrounding Stephon Diggs. He's had a lot of legal issues. He's been cleared of the most recent things, but there's a lot of shy away from him because there's been multiple cases. This wasn't a one-off thing.
Right.
So there's certainly patterns of behavior there that are drawing. He's also 33 years old. That's also one. But I will tell you, in his career over the past 6 years, he's done 1,000-yard season. It has not affected his play on the field.
Isn't he worth a 1-year deal?
For sure.
Right? Isn't he
Yes.
worth, screw it, just do a 1-year deal?
Yeah, with a 33-year-old player, that's all you ever give any 33-year-old player anyway, is a 1-year deal.
Pay him the money, sign the contract now, get it done, and make him your Z. Give him
Make
a
him
1-year
your
deal.
Z. Bring him in. Make him your Z. The other one that's out there is Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk, I'm telling you, we might not see Brandon Ayuk if he comes here for a while.
Yeah, June. That ain't
It
going
will
to come
be
to
June, and if it's not June, it might not be till August.
Right. But if he
Because-
comes open and that's available, do him a 1-year deal and let him compete for the job. Let them all compete. What do we
Let
lose?
them all compete. Let them all compete.
What do we lose?
Brandon Ayuk, I don't think is going to set anything on fire because he's got to get back in football shape. He hasn't played football in like a year and a half.
Right.
So he's going to come in depth. And if he works real hard, he'll start leapfrogging people on the depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
But you give him that opportunity on a 1-year deal.
Yep. Let them all compete. Pay them the money. Let them all compete. We got the money.
Now, one that I do like. Now, one I do like here is Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs as safety would be a huge, huge thing because you could put him back in that backfield with the secondary that we have right now. I am all for that.
Didn't Rigo's Rag say something about that, about the possibility of being able to snag him? Wasn't Rigo's Rag talking about that today or something?
Yeah, I'm sure he was, but several analysts are saying that. So it's not just Rigo.
He would be a great pickup. Why aren't we moving on that?
Yeah, why are we not moving on it? So there's a lot of buzz surrounding these guys, but we have not signed any of them. Usually when we haven't signed somebody like that, it's because it's usually money. It's usually they're asking like a stupid amount of money, and you're just like, no, until you come down, nah, we'll let you sit. And usually when you see a guy like Trayvon Diggs that's been out there, Dallas hasn't brought him back. I mean, Dallas released him, so I mean, and no other teams really jumped on it. It's probably because he's just like, I'm one of the greatest. You need to sign me to 25, 28 million, and they're like, yeah, no, we ain't paying you that.
You think that's why he's still out there because his price is too high? No one will touch him.
100%. The reason why he's not signed is he's asking for a lot of money. He's going to have to come down. I will tell you, if you are a veteran player who's very serviceable, who has great stats, and you're not signed at this point, it's because of one of three reasons. It's either number one, you're injured, and people are worrying about your injury profile. Mm-hmm. Number two, you have off the field issues, and people are like wondering what's going on there. Or number three, you're asking for too much freaking money. Mm. It's one of those three issues. And when you look at who's on the board, and you're looking at Stephon Diggs, he's had off the field issues.
Yep.
Look at Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, he had issues with his last freaking team. Like, and that freaking stuff. And he's not released yet. He's a 49er right now.
Yeah.
Right? So until he hits the street, he's not even like a real discussion that you can have, even though everybody's talking about him.
Yep.
And then Trayvon Diggs, the reason why he's out there, he's not hurt. There's nothing wrong with him. It's money. And he doesn't have any off-field issues either. It's
How
money.
long do you think he's going to wait before he starts getting antsy in the pantsy?
That's what teams bank on. Are you going to get antsy and are you going to come down on your price? Because it's a market.
He's going to get antsy. He wants some money.
He wants money.
He's a football player. He wants to play. He wants to be on a team.
But that's the thing about a football market, right? Is you think your value is something else, teams think your value is something different, and you got to wait till you can kind of get somewhere where there's a compromise where both sides are willing to pull a trigger on something.
Play this year. There's a question. He's going to play. Someone's going to sign him.
Someone's going to sign him. I would like it to be here, but I also don't believe in overpaying for players either.
Right. No matter what, right?
Right. So like if I have you valued and I'm thinking that you should be about 10 million and you're saying you want 22, I'm like, yeah, right. You're gonna sit, bro. I'm not even pulling that trigger until you come down on your price. Now you start coming down and you're like, hey, I want 12.5. All right, you're
Coach,
gonna make
coach, if we're close to preseason, he's still out there at 24. We haven't done anything, and we have the 24, and we want to make the playoffs this year. We think we have a shot. We go get him. You know what I mean?
that man Peters won't do that.
I know, but we do. You know what I mean? We should, right? If he's
Yeah,
still
but it
out
won't
there,
it won't happen that way. I will
yeah,
tell you, he's gonna have to come way down off of his price for us to bring him in because like they're taking a different mentality and I think they're overcompensating personally.
yeah,
Like last year they were like, "Hey, we're going to do everything we need to win," and they got a bunch of old guys. And we hammered them for it because the team was just too old,
yeah,
right? So this year I think they're overcompensating and they're just like, "Well, our young guys didn't get a lot of playing time because we brought on all these old guys who just broke down, blah blah blah."
The
So now
pendulum
they're like the
swung.
pendulum swung the other way. There's like, "Okay, we want to go all young. We want to go all young, and so we don't want to get these older players in there because we tried that already last year and it didn't work."
Just
Like,
wrong. You don't swing it that hard. You come back to the center, you know. Hey, Jeffrey
yeah,
Jack, go out there and find out what Trayvon Diggs was making with Dallas, what his deal was, and put it in the
I,
comments. And we
yeah,
got a lot of people out there on the channel tonight, but not all of you checked in. If you're out there and you're watching, check in so I know you're there. Let us know who's out there, man. I want to see there's some people out there I don't know yet. We got a lot of you on tonight.
all right. So another one we have here's some other ones that I've added to the list that you don't hear a lot of buzz about, but they could very easily be connected back to this team. That you have to dig a little bit,
Yep.
and you hear that potentially that they could return. Right. One of them's Debo Samuel. Um, the news and the buzz around him is that he will return, or there'll be a new addition to the squad. Which I think if they
Mhm.
get a Stephon Diggs, a Brandon Ayuk, Debo doesn't come back. But if, like, let's say neither one of them come back, then it might open the door for Debo to come back,
Yeah.
right? And then Bobby Wagner is one. Bobby Wagner has not ruled out returning to Washington. His big thing is he wants playing time.
Right.
So he doesn't want to necessarily be in a package because of his age. He's just like, listen, I've had over 140 tackles for the past 100 years per season. So, like, don't slow me down,
Oh, so true.
right?
Oh,
So like for him, he might no longer be the right fit for our program
yeah.
because we're going to get Sonny Styles involved. We're going to get Chanel involved. I mean, unless there's some kind of injury, which nobody wants that. I don't know if it would open the doorway for Bobby
Yeah,
Wagner.
he's a package guy if he comes back. That's it.
Yeah, but like he doesn't want to be a package guy. He wants to be an every down player.
He's not.
And
He's
I
not.
like I hear you. We love you, Bobby, but like at this point, like when we signed Chanel and we drafted Sonny Styles, I think that kind of made us move in a different direction.
Yep.
Now,
100%.
one I'm freaking super like sign this dude freaking today,
Please.
Kyle Linderbaum.
Please sign this guy.
That dude will look at Allegretti and say, "Man, go get me a cup of coffee, man, because I'm the center around here now.
This is
Go
the
carry
key.
you can carry my pads out to the field."
This is the key piece we're missing, man, on the offense. Like seriously. Like Spaghetti Allegretti is not the man. The
No,
center calls the plays for the line. The center is the key piece we're missing. Spaghetti Allegretti does not have the experience to run the offensive line. He doesn't. It's the center who calls the line play. It's the center who's the key piece pulling. He makes the assignments. He passes. This is not going to happen with Spaghetti Allegretti. We're a disaster with him. A
and the guy that we
disaster.
drafted, and the guy we drafted is probably going to be a practice squad player. I mean, he
Right.
might make our roster if we have no other choice, but like, why not get a guy like Tyler Linderbaum? He's going to come in, he's going to take over day one,
What do you think it'll cost us?
probably about 12.
The same thing with a. Oh my God. It's worth every. He's worth. It would be worth every dime.
Yeah, maybe 13. I mean, the same thing with that we were playing badass. He's going to cost in that range, 12, 13 million.
Why is he
And we
still
got
out
it.
there? Why is he still out there?
He had some injury issues, but like he's fine. He's going to be fine.
Allegretti
Um,
could back him up. I'm gonna be
yeah,
okay with that.
Allegretti can back up Tyler for sure.
And pick up a thing or two, you know?
Yeah, maybe you can rotate him in and learn the center position a little bit better because Allegretti only has 2 starts at center in his career. 2. The rest of his career, Allegretti has played freaking guard. Going all the way back to his time with Kansas City. He was a guard.
This is again, coach, why your draft picks were so spot on and why I just don't understand what Peters was doing in the draft. Why we
No,
did not
he's
go after
not.
that center.
I don't want to say I'm smarter than him, but I will tell you, like,
Yes, you are.
I scratch my head about coaches and general managers all the time in the NFL. They make very, very little sense to me. And usually if I follow them and just take an analytical approach, I end up being right. Not as about me being right. I'm just saying like I even evaluate not how well they perform. I evaluate what I put out. So if
Right.
I say like for instance, wide receiver, Brazil was taken 12 spots later by the Carolina Panthers in the 3rd round. I will tell you, it is my prediction that Brazil will have a bigger year in Carolina than Williams will have here in Washington.
100%. And we're going to watch it too.
And we're
We're
going
going
to
to
watch
watch it.
and we're going to see it happening. Who do you think is going to have a better NFL career? I will tell you, when you're a young kid and you have as, from the ages of 18 to 22, going through college with the amount of injuries that he has, I mean, you're most resilient in your life between the ages of 18 and 22.
Thank you.
Your body doesn't get any better once you start adding years onto your body.
And you go to the NFL, you go to the pros. It just
And you
gets
go to
worse.
the pros and you
Look at
think it's going to
Daniels.
be, yeah, you think the pros are going to be easier on your body than what you dealt with in college?
Look at Daniels. Daniels is a prime example of that.
But if you come in with an injury history, it usually doesn't serve you real well.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you, when you're looking at a wide receiver like Brazil, 6'5", 200 pounds, and can run a freaking 4.3 40. I just don't know, like, and people go like, well, he's just a Z receiver. He's a deep threat, and he's a jump ball guy.
Yeah,
That's exactly what we need in Washington.
you need one. You need one on your team.
Because people are like, why did he go in the 1st round if he was so great? Well, it's because he's not great at every route tree, but you don't need him to be. The guy's a freaking leaper, man.
It's 3rd and 20.
Put
Who
it
do you
up.
call? Give me my jump ball guy.
My
Corner
jump
route.
ball.
Jump ball.
Jaden, throw it a little high.
Package.
Throw it a little high for him. He's 6'5", bro.
Why
And
do
he's
I
being
need that
covered
kind of
by
guy
a
on my team?
5'10" freaking corner.
Why do I need a jump ball guy? I don't know. There are situations in a game where you need a jump ball guy.
Like in the red zone? Like when he's being covered by a 5'10" freaking corner? Like, I'd be lighting that dude up. Just throw it high. He's going to be able to leave that dude.
Unbelievable.
So we're going to watch it. But, like, my point is this. Like, certain times I can see certain things happening. Believe me, those centers that we passed on, Hecht, I'm going to be watching him. Connor Liu, I'm going to be watching him. Because, believe me, I believe both those two are going to be very, very good centers. And I'm going to pay attention to PPF. I wonder how well these rookies are going to do compared to Allegretti.
Yep.
I'm just saying, guys.
Why else you get a Brazil who can run a 4.4, 4.3. You know why else you get a guy like that? Not to throw him the ball, to send him on a freaking streak or a post route, to draw coverage, right?
And
that's
what
they're going to
go
for him, and to release Scary Terry underneath.
And you know that's what he does. That's what he does well. But the criticism of him is, well, that's really all of his game. But that's really all we want him for.
You're right. You open up your underneath drawing coverage for the threat.
Yeah, because you want to open things up for Terry McLaurin. You want to open up guys, whoever's playing your slot, maybe, wherever. I think Traylon Burks, I think Jalen Lane could have played that thing. You still got Luke McCaffrey. One of
And
those guys are going to emerge.
God forbid, the first time that guy catches a ball for a 30, 40, 50-yard or even a TD, he now becomes the threat every other team has to plan for. Oh, crap. They got a Z receiver who can catch a deep ball because he's got
That's
speed.
right.
And now every team has to plan for a dual deep threat. You got Scary Terry and you got Brazell, right?
But we don't have them. So and it would also open up Chig at tight end. It would open up the run game. It would open up a lot of things. Like we
I just
missed
don't
it
get it.
so badly. Like we miss so badly. And we are still at the brink of OTAs. We still do not have a Z receiver.
And Stephon Diggs does not give us that. And neither
Yeah, he does. Stephon Diggs does give us
not as
that,
good as
but
Brazell.
he's going to be but the thing about Stephon Diggs can definitely play the Z. But the
Right.
thing about Stephon Diggs is he's a 1-year
33.
guy.
Yeah. But he's not as fast.
You're going to get him this year on a 1-year contract, and then he's probably going to retire.
He
If you get Brazell, you got a guy for a freaking
4 years. 4 years. And
you got him for a decade, dude.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's a bust, right? But he's
Maybe.
cheap. He's cheap.
Rookie
He doesn't
contracts
come with any off-field issues, no issues at all. He's cheap. He gives you everything you want. You got him for a minimum of 4 years for nothing. And he's faster than both Ayuk and Diggs. It was a complete listen. I just don't understand. You made that call, and I was like, "That is the call. That is the call."
I will tell you,
made the call at center, and that was the call.
I will tell you, the wide receiver that I picked is better than the wide receiver that we drafted. I will tell you, the centers I picked were better than the center that we drafted. I will tell you, the quarterback I picked was better than the quarterback that we drafted.
Yep.
I will tell you, everything across the board that I picked was better than what the Commanders actually drafted, with the exception of Sonny Styles, because
that was a gimme.
It's a freaking miracle that he fell into our lap.
Yeah, because he was a gimme.
But it's like the greatest miracle of the 2026 draft is that Brandon Ayuk was there at Sonny Styles was there at number 7.
Can you imagine the draft if he wasn't? What they would have done?
Oh,
I think they would have picked another loser candidate. I thought they would have picked another loser. If Sonny didn't fall to us, this entire draft would have been a bust. Anyway, I think you analyzed the draft perfectly, and I think your picks were spot on. And it was really interesting to see what Peters did and Quinn did versus what your analysis showed. And listening to you break it down, Coach, like you did, and the perspectives, and coming back and looking at it and looking at the offense and what we have and what pieces we got, it's just so stark and clear of a difference. It's really going to be cool to follow these players that you pick.
We will follow them.
You know how they perform this year, and
right,
versus what we picked and how they perform. Oh, I'm on it like stink on you know what. I'm on it because
we definitely need to do that, because I will tell you, I really truly believe that this is going to shed light on what football psych is able to determine and analyze versus what the pros, the front office of the actual Washington Commanders, and what they actually do.
And how every analyst said,
and I'm not talking about drafting, and I'm not talking about drafting people who weren't there at those spots. In every one of those cases, the player that we drafted, the player that I wanted, was still on the board.
And
those cases.
And
so I don't want people to come back and go like, Mike, Coach Mad Mike, you're just freaking crazy because that guy wasn't there. No. These guys were there when we picked across the board. I can go across every pick and show you that the guys that I said were still on the board.
Yep. And how every analyst rated our draft The worst rating we got was a B minus. Everyone was B or B plus on our
No,
overall draft. And
see,
I'm
I
like,
think
there's
that's
no
skewed
way.
too. I
There's
think
no
that's all
way.
skewed. Like, I think that that's highly inflated only because of Sonny Styles.
Right. Which is
If you take
ridiculous.
Sonny Styles out of there, I don't give this team a passing grade.
Exactly. It's a D.
As a matter of fact, I think the only player that I like outside of Sonny Styles is the running back that
Yeah,
we
I'll
had.
give you that. Absolutely. And
He'll make a
he's
good third
okay.
string running back.
We need a power back, right?
And yeah, and he'll be
Third and
that.
two on the goal line, power back. I'm okay with
Yeah.
that pick.
And that's probably the only carries that he'll get a short yardage situation and goal
Yeah.
line. Unless of course you have injuries, nicks, bumps, and bruises, and sometimes
Yeah.
we ride the hot hand, blah blah blah,
I
right?
was okay with that pick. I was
But
okay
I'm
with
okay with that one. But that's
it.
it.
It's
I don't
out of
really like
order.
any of the other picks.
Yeah, it's out of order. You know, we should have got the other two. We should have got the center and the wide receiver, and then that guy, right? And the
Right.
quarterback, and then that guy, and then amazing draft, right? And then our
Yeah.
team's holes are filled, except for a cornerback and a safety, right?
Right.
So,
All right, guys. Well, moving on, I do want to show you the roster. This has not changed since last week, but there are some things I kind of want to go over here. Like, Kalon Allen is that rookie running back I was telling you about. I think he's going to probably win the third string job. I know we went out and got Jerome Ford from Cleveland,
wow.
but I wouldn't expect Jerome Ford necessarily. I mean, he's going to have to show up because
Mm-hmm.
I,
Wow.
I've heard a lot of very positive buzz about Allen. So
That's
um,
good.
I think the Rook is going to be able to come in and say like, yeah, I'm the number 3, and maybe we put Jerome Ford on the practice squad, or we trade him, or cut him, or whatever.
Wow.
But
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. As far as wide receiver, like we need to do something. To me, I don't agree with this current lineup. Luke McCaffrey is not going to be the starting receiver.
Now, who do we just sign? We signed another veteran guy to wide receiver this week. We just signed someone.
Yeah, Jalen Bradley.
To tell me about that. Why did we sign that guy?
As a camp body, because we wanted to have more bodies in camp. Because we're going to run multiple practice fields at the same time, and
Yeah.
we need multiple receivers out there for quarterbacks to throw to. So it's
Have a
about
system.
having players that you can have enough reps where people are fully engaged.
Oh,
And so
okay.
they needed another receiver.
That's the
But
only
like
reason.
he'll get cut as soon as we sign one of those other receivers we're doing. Like if we go out and we get
Oh.
Stephon Diggs, he'll be like the first one to get cut,
Oh, okay. All right.
right?
Okay.
If unless he comes in, I mean, he's got a very very short window to like beat out a Nick Nash or beat out. Like he's not going to beat out Hilton. I'm going to tell you that now. Hilton's probably destined for the practice squad. So like, but I will probably say, and then or Van Jefferson, like that dude's probably going to be on the bubble. I don't see him necessarily making it.
Right. Right.
But like they're gonna work these guys, and this is where conditioning and strength training and stuff like that might pay the difference, because how much can a coach actually evaluate you on at this
Mm-hmm.
point? You're
You think
not
he
you don't
beats
have pads
McCaffrey?
on. You don't have pads on. You're not hitting.
You think he beats McCaffrey?
I don't know who beats McCaffrey.
Bradley.
No, not at all.
Okay. You think
No.
McCaffrey has a shot at special teams this year?
An outside shot.
Outside. Okay. I'd love
I,
to see that kid
I,
make
I
special
think I
teams.
think like I don't agree with this particular depth chart projection. It comes from ESPN. I don't necessarily agree with it, because I would not have Luke McCaffrey nowhere near the starting lineup at this point in his career. I think it's going to be Terry McLaurin. I think the Z receiver is not on this roster yet.
Mm-hmm.
If it is, it's probably going to be De'Ami Brown. And then Antonio Williams is probably going to be the slot guy, but if he doesn't, it's probably going to be Jalen Lane, or Traylon Burks. And I know they're using Traylon Burks as a backup at the X for Terry McLaurin, but Traylon Burks can play everything.
Now, Coach,
So-
up here they're talking about Antonio is going to be the Z in the backup slot, but primary is Z.
He
And
would
they're
be
talking about
good.
everyone else in the trash slot room competing.
So
Can you
to me,
believe
that
that?
would be a mistake, because I don't see Antonio
I-
Williams as being a Z.
I agree. I
I just
agree,
don't see
but
it.
that's the buzz up here, and I'm
I
just like,
will tell you another reason why I don't like him is because he doesn't even grade out as high as in the slot as other slot receivers would to go in the third round. If
right.
if I was to objectively a, look at Antonio Williams, and I know he's a third round, he is a third round pick, but I would have graded him around somewhere around the fifth round. I think we reached way too high for him. Um, again, Brazil was the better receiver on the board
By far, by
by
far.
far. Like it wasn't even close.
Yep.
Brazil, true Z receiver, 6'5", 200 pounds, running a 4.3. Like to me,
I would have
yes,
given anything to be a fly on the wall in the coach's room as they were debating who to pick at wide receiver.
dude,
Like
I
to
would have
know,
been going off in that room.
but to know what their decision tree was on that, like what they were thinking and what the evaluation was to make that decision. I would
Somebody
just
was in
love to
love with
know.
somebody was in love with them. They went to go see him play one time and fell in love with him. I don't know what the flip that was, but like somebody loved him in the room. So
Somebody, more than one, obviously, because it was,
So I think Chig, as it stands right now, is probably really the true number two wide receiver. Because if Terry McLaurin's not open, if Terry McLaurin's not open, we're checking down to Chig.
yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it?
I mean, I don't really see much else to work with, honestly. I
Or
just don't.
who is coming out of Krosky Merritt?
Yeah,
He's,
well, Krosky Merritt doesn't come out a lot.
I know.
So,
If they don't have him back in
and
protection, he's going to be slipping out as a check down.
And Rashad White is coming in hungry. He's going to come in hungry and try to take Bill's job from him. I don't think he'll be successful at it. I think he will be the number two running back, but
I think he's going to be the number
Jacory's going to be challenged.
I think he's the number one. I just didn't see enough of Krosky Merritt. He showed
So
flashes. I
he
just
did.
think Rashad White is a better, more consistent back.
Yeah, and he might come in and take the job for sure.
I think
So,
Krosky's the number two.
so let's go to defense here real quick. No changes here for this week, but I will tell you when I look at safety. I'm sorry when I look at safety. To think of Trayvon Diggs playing across Nick Cross, have those two guys in the backfield. Yeah, Quan Martin, I'd make you a backup at this point. I didn't see enough out of you last year.
Yeah.
And I told you guys before, I would have already cut Will Harris and Percy Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Will Harris would not be on my freaking football team. I'm just telling you. There's nothing I like about that guy.
Oh man, you love to hate him in Madden too. Oh my lord,
I just don't like him like what he did. And he showed me nothing last year. Like nothing.
You all don't know what it's like to sit next to Coach playing Madden with Harris on the team and the cussing that comes out of Coach's mouth about that guy during Madden.
How many times does that guy go?
For hours.
How many games does that guy get benched? It's almost every game.
I can't remember.
It's almost every game.
There's been so many instances where I had to grab on the coach from preventing him from throwing the controller at the TV over that guy.
Oh my gosh. I do not like Will Harris.
Unbelievable. Oh, so funny.
There are some rumors about Tyler Owens from safety moving to the nickelback corner spot because of his speed and his ability to work that.
Really?
And if he does, I wouldn't be surprised if Tyler Owens puts Amik Robertson,
out of a job.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a competition.
I don't like Amik.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I'm very high on Amik either. And so if you move Tyler Owens over there, I think Tyler Owens would have a shot, man. I don't know what it is about Tyler Owens. I love his speed, and he actually has good ball awareness.
He tackles better. Amik Robinson can't tackle the broadside of a barn.
Like that, that's another reason why Will Harris and Percy Butler wouldn't be on this team because I'm like, I got Tyler Owens. I've got Jeremy Reeves. Jeremy Reeves is a freaking tackling fool.
Yep.
Like you think you're going to get by Jeremy Reeves. Jeremy Reeves tackles everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just tackles everything.
And Amik Robinson's tackle percentage is sad. It's sad.
Yeah. So
Never
yeah,
would have,
I don't
never would
know.
have signed him.
I don't know. So anyway, I still think that there's room to improve on our defense in the
Yeah.
area of corner. I think we need to pick up another corner. I know we just picked up Antonio Hamilton. We brought him back. I'm okay with that, but like when I look at who's behind Sinistro, I know people are talking maybe Fred Davis. I'm not seeing it necessarily. He's going to have to come in and play hard. Trey Hawkins, I'd put him in the same category as Fred Davis. I don't really know anything about Witherspoon really to know, so he's gonna have to show me something. Um, Vigors, no, that dude's just coming for camp.
Mm.
So Darius Rush is an interesting guy, but I just have not seen enough development. And I'm going to be frank with you guys: the Washington Commanders up to this point under Dan Quinn has been not very good at player development.
Yep, I agree.
To me,
I
he
agree.
missed a lot of opportunities last year when we were eliminated from the playoffs. I would have played everybody young who is still on contract for this year just to develop them.
Did
And
we
he
talk
didn't do
about that
that.
the last 4 games? That should have been preseason, right?
This
We
should have
talked
been
about it.
preseason. We talked about it. I yelled about it every week, and we just didn't do it. And then now we're just like, well, we need to give these guys reps because we really don't know what we have. Whose fault is that?
Head coach.
I mean, here's the coach Mad Mike coming out of me. Whose fault was that? When you were eliminated from the playoffs last year, it was preseason for this year. You guys are not thinking right.
Yep.
You should have played all your youth.
You taught me a lot last year about that, coach, and I completely believe and know you were correct on it. That is exactly the right approach.
Do you know how much
Preseason last
clearer,
year started as soon as the playoff hopes ended. That was when
as soon as
preseason
you
for
are
this year started.
mathematically eliminated, your off season for next year starts?
That's correct. You are absolutely correct.
And think about how much further you would be right now if you took those remaining 4 or 5 games that we had last year and evaluated the youth that you had that were going to be on contract for this year
Yep.
and say, I'm going to give you guys reps. You're going to approach it. You might even start. And we are evaluating talent because some of these other veterans, these old guys around here, they're not going to be here next year.
That's
And
right.
guess what? Proved to be true. All those old guys from last year, they're not here.
Yep.
These guys are.
It
And
was
you missed a valuable opportunity to give them valuable reps so you can get stuff on film
yep.
and see where they're at.
And that affected the draft, right?
Yep.
Skewed your draft on what you think you need because you don't even know what you have in your locker room.
And
It's
they were going out
unbelievable.
getting guys that made no sense to me. So
It's
like
just
there's a lot of decisions that this team makes that I just don't approve of from a coaching standpoint and a general management standpoint
yep.
about preparing a team. Now you can look at me like, Coach Matt Mike, who the flip are you? Well, I will tell you, we record everything, right? So you can say, Mike, you don't know what you're talking about. These guys get paid millions of dollars. You don't get paid nothing. You be right. But I record everything. And so I can show you the analysis of when I said certain decisions need to be made and the decisions that they made. What I done, how well did that player do compared to what you picked?
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you, a majority, it's all I'm not gonna say it's 100%. I would say it's greater than 90% of the time, I'm right. It's very, very rarely that I'm wrong about something.
Where you need to run a stat sheet on the draft picks that we picked versus the draft picks the Commanders
That's right.
picked.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it again. Brazil will have a better season than Antonio
Yeah,
Williams.
unquestionably.
Het at center is going to be have a way better season than
Is he a
whatever. I can't
starter?
even
Is he going to be
remember
a
the name
starter?
of the of or the center we had, and this our center we have hasn't even shown up on this list yet.
Yeah, he's not even a starter.
No, he's not going to start.
Is Hecht going
Um,
to be a starter? I think so.
Probably. And then when you look at Traylon Green, who I was picking at quarterback, will be a way better guy than Ethan Kaliakmanis that we got. I'm going to tell you right now, Traylon Green is like way better. Traylon, I will tell you, like, yeah, Brazil way better than Antonio Williams.
Brazil's
Way
going to
better.
be in games.
Hecht way better than the center that we
Yeah.
drafted. Right? I'm just telling you, like, that, and we will track it. And I will tell you, like we missed, like I said last year when we got mathematically limited, play your young guys on contract because they're going to be here next year.
Mhm.
All these guys, these old guys that you're starting right now, that you're giving reps to, they're going to be gone.
Yep.
Like we were starting Josh Johnson as a quarterback. Like what the flip? Why
Yep.
weren't you starting Sam Hartman?
Yep. Doesn't make any
Who's on the
sense.
roster right now? Sam Hartman's on the roster. How do we know where Sam Hartman is right now? We don't. We
Mhm.
don't know because he should have started the last 4 games so we got tape on him, but we missed it.
You don't even know if you can cut him or not because you don't know how good he is.
We don't know how good he is because you missed your opportunity for him to get like 4 starts last year.
Yep. Yeah,
You're
it's
gonna
dumb.
play. You're gonna play the 40-year-old Josh Johnson. Like, come on, guys. Like,
That,
what are you doing?
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I
Doesn't make any
listen.
sense.
When you said that, it like put a light bulb in my head, and I was like, man, coach is exactly right. That is just that's like the light bulb went off. I was like, that makes complete sense. It's just
And I just don't
that's just
understand how
common
these
sense. It's
guys.
not even you have to think. It's just common sense. Every young guy that's on contract for next year should be a starter at that point. You got
That's right.
nothing to lose.
You got nothing to lose, and you're preparing. Like your season's over. You're
Yep.
preparing for next year.
Doesn't matter if you drop games. If you drop games because you're doing it, it only improves your draft status.
Yeah, but what? But like, I don't even think like those terms. I think of like my season's over. I've been mathematically eliminated. So, but I have to play the games. But like, I am already starting. Like, I would tell people this is day one of the 2026 season. When they show up to work on Monday,
Mhm. But
hey, we're mathematically eliminated. 2025 is done.
there's the
We are
pressure.
preparing for the 2026 NFL season. And I need to, and you guys are going to be placed in situations because I need to figure out who's going
But
to be
there's the
here,
pressure,
who
coach.
I'm getting rid of.
There's the pressure, coach. You got to put butts in seats in your home stadium. You got the pressure to win games, the pressure to
Well,
please your
you also have a microphone where you can go before
press
everybody and tell
conference
them
and
what you're
tell
doing.
them. Yeah. Put your
I'm telling you.
starters in for 1 quarter, play your youngsters for 3.
Lord Sarge, you're a fan, are you not?
Yep.
If I got behind a microphone, I told you this is my plan moving forward, would you hate me for it?
No, I would say, okay, I understand what you're doing. That makes sense.
No,
Especially
I
if
would
you
expect the rest of the guys. And I'm like, hey, listen, guys, come on out, watch the games because guess what? These are the guys that are going to be on the team next year.
Mhm. I would understand as a fan, just like when you explained it to me on the show, right? I'd be like, oh, that makes a hell of a lot of sense. Well, I'm going to play the old dogs going to be gone next year. And when the coach, we've already lost, we're out. I'm going to support my team, but we're going to put the guys we have under contract in and test them out. And we're going to get one up so we get
And,
a better position in
and
the
you know
draft.
what? What happens if you go out there and you actually win a game with those guys in there?
Yeah, we look good and we support our team. And if we lose every single game, we only move up in the draft.
Yeah.
What's the harm?
Yeah, and the other thing you give as a positive is you've got tape, like 4 games of tape on all these guys, where you're able to then go into your off-season program and pull every player aside and go, let me give you your evaluation on the year. This is where I see you. Here's what I saw on your game film. Like, this is fresh tape I got on you. This wasn't stuff from last preseason. This was the last four
Yeah.
games of tape I got on you. This is what you're doing well. This is what you're not doing well. This is what we're going to focus on in the offseason.
Yep.
And we're going to develop you. And you're going to need to work on the following things if you want to make this roster next year,
Yep.
right? And you're able to shape them, and the players will appreciate it because they'll be like, "Man, I was able to get some stats. I was able to get some reps in." And when you tell them like, "Hey, listen, you weren't running that route right," and they're like, "Hey, I wasn't running that route right." Well, we're going to work on that, right? You can go through that kind of stuff with them. All right. Anyway, we're going to go over there. We talked defense already, special teams. The thing to watch on special teams, guys, I'm going to tell you is punt return, kick return.
Kicker.
All right. People are going to be like, hell, the kicking game. Yeah, I think Drew Stevens is going to beat out Jake Moody.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's going to happen. I don't think Jake Moody will stick around long. If Drew Stevens is like nailing him, Jake Moody will be gone pretty quick.
He's gonna. I have faith. I have faith.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to tell you where the fight's going to be. If you're one of these slot receivers, you're fighting for to do punt and kick returns.
Yep.
Because you want to show like I come with something else to this team. Because there'll be one of these guys that make it because they're a special teams player.
Yep.
And so Jalen Lane, Luke McCaffrey, Antonio Williams, you're going to have him there. Okay, you got Jerry McNichols because he's going to be worried about being cut because now that we drafted the other guy, he's just like, oh man, I'm like the fourth or fifth running back now. I'm going to make it off of special teams. But don't be surprised if you don't see a couple other guys get added to this list. Like everybody's going to be wanting to do kickoff and punt returns because they're going to be like, I need to make this team somehow.
Yep. 100%. I agree.
Right.
Key position for competition this year.
Key position for competition because they're gonna be fighting like man. Like this might be the only way I can make the freaking roster.
Don't drop a punt or kick return this year. You lose your
job.
Yeah.
Because you do it, you're gonna get cut. Flat out cut. Because they're gonna know, like I got five other guys on the roster who can catch that ball. All right. Well, that is our show for tonight, baby.
Woo!
Heck yeah!
Oh, it went that quick. Wow, that's crazy.
Man, we love you guys who participated. Make sure you like and subscribe if you have not done so. Share the link with some buddies. Tell your best friends, hey, listen in on our show. I think we do a pretty good job. You guys must think so too because you're here. So we appreciate you. We love you. There's a football psych, baby.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. We'll see you.